Chow time. Ah, that's the good stuff.
All right. Uh-oh. Whoa. Stop it! Okay, something's wrong. Something is wrong with this. Come on. Oh, come on! Oil leaks again?
Can't be. Hey man, said something about oil leaks?
Don't you live in Germany?
Not right now.
All right.
This is nice.
Yeah, I tried to fix it, and now all the oil is on the ground.
Nah, man, that almost never happens. That ain't true. That's a myth.
Okay, do you know anything about these?
A little bit.
Okay.
I don't know much about hypercars though, and I think I've seen a LaFerrari in a lake right over there.
That is.
And I think it's also on fire.
I'm gonna pretend like you're not just saying the nicest thing I've ever heard, because if there's a LaFerrari over there,
I would never lie about that,
yeah,
man. Not to you.
Say less. All right.
Perfect.
There ain't nothing here.
Despite that believable intro, me possessing teleporting powers, and as if BMWs ever leak oil, I bought this magnificent vehicle in Seattle. Therefore, this is Project Seattle. See, my wife wanted a convertible, and I wanted an S54 power plant. Put 3 and 14 together, and you get this 2006 E85 Z4M Roadster, finished in beautiful Imola Red color with a black interior and matching factory hardtop. So you can actually use this thing in winter. Don't think they have that here, but we sure do in Germany. This is going to be a treat. I live in Germany, where the cheapest equivalent example at the time of purchase was 30,000 euros plus. So imagine my dilated pupils when I found this one for 13,000 bucks near Seattle. Clean title, Imola Red with a hardtop. Yep, I want it. I need it. See, even your mom's great auntie has heard of the E86 M3, but what many don't know is that BMW slapped the very S54 engine out of the M3 in the Z4 between 2006 and 2008. This naturally aspirated inline 6 with its ITBs can sink all the way up to 8,000 RPM, a proper motorsport power plant. Once again, I sent my good friend Petar, who serendipitously lives in the area, to check out the car, and the deal was made. Big shout out to Petar for inspecting and storing the car for me. At the same time, a tiny YouTuber called Tavarish bought the worst E46 M3 in existence and could use a hand putting it back on the road. So in order to kill 2 oil leaks with one socket, I had the Roadster shipped cross country to Freddy's shop so I can wrench on not 1 but 2 S54s at the same time. As I already teleported myself to Florida, let's find out if my sight unseen gamble to save 17,000 smackaroonies by buying a neglected rare M car paid off. Time to do the initial inspection. Let's get the car up in the air and see what's lurking underneath. I ordered a ton of parts from Bima World, but I just want to make sure that we have everything that we need and that I don't need any additional parts. So up in the air it goes. The gigolo test. Yep. Let's check the suspension first for play. That's good. No play there. The tires are brand new. Michelin Pilot Sport All Season 4. The thread is perfect and they're from 2024, so we are good there. The brakes, however, the brake rotors have a massive lip, so they're done. And then the pads are not too bad. But I have new brakes, so we're gonna be doing that. The shock looks good. It's not leaking. Good. No play here. Nice. No play in the suspension. However, I do see one thing here. That's the rear left shock, and as you can see, the bump stop is turning into a cupcake. Yeah, that's completely gone. Good thing I have new shocks. Let's take it all the way up. Well, hello there, Coco. So let's start the tour of Seattle. And right off the bat, I can tell you this is one clean car. I mean, look at that underside. So let's start in the back. No rust. I mean, a little bit on the exhaust over there, but that's nothing. But look at the floor. It looks beautiful. So the rear shocks, not leaking, but we are going to be replacing that. And look at the calipers. They're not rusty. Unbelievable. All good here. This side, the axle boot looks a bit wettish, so might need to look into what's going on there. Another good looking caliper. It's just very clean. Look at the springs, man. Look at that. And then look at this. Very, very clean. The exhaust, clean, no rust anywhere. This is the ZF transmission, so the Z4M uses the S54 engine that you can find in the E86 M3 over there, but the transmission that the M3 uses, which is the 420G Getrag, doesn't fit. The tunnel is too small. So BMW used the ZF 6-speed transmission, which is actually a much better transmission. So very happy about that. And it's not leaking, as you can see. The clutch line looks brand new. Everything looks brand new, man. What the? They definitely don't use any salt in Seattle, I can tell you that much. The control arm bushings, that's a good looking bushing. And then we need to remove these covers. That's slightly broken there. That shock looks good. That sway bar link looks newish, which is nice. That one as well. I mean, again, look at that caliper. Not a speck of rust on it. Really impressive, man. Looking good, damn staccato. And, oh, of course, an oil leak. It is a bit weird, though. That normally never happens in a BMW, you know. But yeah, that's quite oily over there. Let's remove the undercover and see what's going on. Hello, oil leaks. So here's something you've probably never seen before. A BMW with oil leaks. I know, it's shocking. And look at that belt. It's in brilliant condition. About to pop. That one looks good. Thankfully I ordered everything from Imola Red to service that, because these belts look old and the pulleys are probably shot. But I'm really curious to see where the oil leak is coming from, because the entire underside is covered with this crap. It's coming somewhere from the top, so maybe the valve cover. Oh, the timing tensioner doesn't look great. So we have a sizable leak there. Maybe the crush washer, or nah, I can see that the valve cover gasket is dry there. We'll have to take a look from above. So overall, I bought a decent condition car. You know, it's not a complete bucket, which is unusual for me. The grille in the front is a bit broken. Not a big deal though, and the bumper is pretty scruffed up, so that'll need to be repainted. Need to lose that side marker there. So you can see oil leaks a bit better now. I'd venture to say that this is all coming from the front and the wind is just blowing it this way. So here's something weird, the headlights. It looks like they've redone and there's some sort of clear coat on them. It's very orange peely, it doesn't look right. So, and there's a gap here as well. This bumper is not sitting right. It's pretty badly scuffed up. So that'll need to be repainted, and then this side as well, same. But other than that, the body's in nice condition. So you need a front emblem. The rest of it looks straight. There's a small dent over there, but nothing too terrible. You know, PDR will take care of that. And then this side, same. One small dent over there that I can see. Here we are, the brilliant S54 power plant. And so far I can see that we have a Reman alternator from Bosch. That's nice. And then on this side, I'm trying to see where the leak is coming from, and it looks like that looks like an original fall cover gasket to me because of that RTV there. That looks like factory. But it's not leaking, like the sides are dry all around actually. So the leak is coming from the lower point. So maybe it is that tensioner there. There's a small crush washer. Got an inspection light here. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the leak is coming from that timing chain tensioner because I don't see anything else that's obvious, and you can see it dripped there. So maybe that crush washer there needs to be changed. And yeah, everything else is just wet underneath.
After cleaning the area and driving the car, the leak was seemingly coming from the chain tensioner, which I then removed and found that the crush washer was damaged. I put a new one in and we'll see if that fixes the issue.
This is a US spec Z4M, which means that it has a slightly different exhaust compared to a Euro spec Z4M. Namely, the front part of the exhaust is different because of the emissions and whatnot. The US spec Z4M got digalytic converters in the headers, while the Euro spec cars have proper headers, actually CSL headers from the E86 M3, and then the digalytic converters are moved to the middle of the car. And there are two problems with this exhaust that we have on this car. First of all, it sounds like shit. And second of all, it's limiting power. This thing has 343 horsepower. If you change the exhaust to Euro spec and you do a tune, you can easily get to 360, 370, maybe even more on good fuel. So the first thing that we're going to do here is change the front section of the exhaust. So no maintenance, nothing else. The exhaust, because priorities, right?
These are the boxes that I shipped from Europa before coming here, and they contain a Eurospec Z4M exhaust.
Give me my headers, man.
Euro Z4M headers are the same as the M3 CSL headers, and I got lucky and I found a set from DNT M Parts. Great guys to work with, and if you need any rare M parts, the link is in the description. The digalytic converters I bought from a nice subscriber in Germany. Only the headers in the front midsection are different, which we now need to remove. The rear end of the exhaust is the same, so I'm gonna try and leave it in place.
Let's spritz down the exhaust bolts with some PB Blaster. Gonna need to remove this tray here and this reinforcement plate. So the top bolts are kind of tricky to get to. I would need to lower the exhaust. So I went across the street to Derek's shop and he did this. This was straight. He just created a nice little bend there. And now it fits and I don't need to remove the rest of the exhaust. What a great guy. What a great guy. He sacrificed one of his tools. There we go. Oh my. Beautiful. Look at that. You can just slide it out now. That's great. Ooh, will I be able to slide it out is the question. There. Okay, these are not crap. I'll remove these support braces out and then I can lean the exhaust all the way down and pull out the midsection. Okay, let's see. Come on. Almost dropped it, but didn't. Worked out great.
We're going to access the exhaust manifold bolts from the top, so first the support brace needs to be removed. Then secondary airline and pump. And the heat shield.
Alright, gotta remove this cover here. Don't break that now. Looks good inside. I can see the cam. Nice.
There are 5 wires running to the exhaust manifolds. 4 are for the oxygen sensors, 2 pre-cat and 2 post-cat O2 sensors, and the 5th wire is for the exhaust gas temperature sensor. I'm labeling all connectors as it's crucial to reconnect them correctly.
Plug it. Striking there. Beautiful.
Next, undo the manifold nuts. Some are easily accessible and some are a bit tricky, but doable. First, I'm removing the rear section.
Aha! That's loose. Now, can we pull it out from underneath? Yes! Come to me! It's pretty much out. So I shall continue with the front one. Yes. Yeah, that's one out. They are out. Overall, that went swimmingly. There we are. The garbage is out. Cleaning up the gasket surface. All right, clean that entire area there as much as I can. As usual on these US adventures, we are working with our good friends from BMW World on this project. And these are the two big boxes of parts that I got from them.
I've been working with them for 3 years now, and I can honestly say it's my favorite place to shop for BMW parts, even when I'm back home. Firstly, because of who they are. Their entire team is as crazy about BMWs as I am. They race them, they mod them, they restore them, and they have a wealth of knowledge about each model. They'll sell you parts based on how you use your car, whether it's street, track, or race. They carry everything from genuine, OE, and OEM plus parts. Every time I'm in the States, they go above and beyond to support my endeavors. To name an instance, we urgently needed parts for Freddy's M3. I sent them a big list at 1:30 in the afternoon, and their team managed to essentially teleport boxes with parts, and we got them the very next day at 10 a.m. Yeah, that's the level they go to. Whatever you need, just get in touch with them and you won't regret it. I promise you. They're currently running a promo code for M539 viewers, which you can activate by using the link in the description. Much love, BMW World. Thank you.
So here's the difference between US spec exhaust manifolds and E46 M3 CSL / Z4M Euro spec headers. Huge difference. Thought I ordered brand new pre-cat O2 sensors, but I forgot. So we're gonna transfer over the old ones. That was easy. With a dab of anti-seize. Just be careful not to get this stuff on the sensor itself. So give it a good twist, like that. Right, gonna clean up the surface here, and this is ready to go in. Got brand new gaskets from BMW World. The really smooth surface goes on the cylinder head, and this goes on the headers. So let's pop it into place one by one.
Installation is pretty easy as the cats are not in the way. First, you gotta sneak in both headers roughly into place, and then mount the rear ones first, followed by the front ones.
We are in. Splendid. Just look how much better that looks already. Proper headers for a proper engine. We have 18 nuts in total, and all of the nuts are now easily accessible. Beautiful. That's all of the nuts tight and headers installed. I'm missing these gaskets here, which is a bummer. The old ones are in okayish conditions, so I'm gonna reuse them. But to be extra sure, I'm gonna use some exhaust gasket maker all around, because we need to be sure that this thing is going to seal, you know? Yes. Like a nice bead. Good, I dipped my finger into it. All right, that'll do. And it goes. New gaskets here. Let's get one through like that. Okay. I guess all right, I did get brand new bolts here. Beautiful. Very good. Yeah.
The wiring is slightly different as the post-cat sensors now live in the middle of the car. The pre-cat sensors are a plug and play, but for the post-cat ones, you gotta split open the wiring loom and run those two connectors together with the exhaust temperature sensor connector down the transmission factory loom to the middle of the car. Then with some clips, everything neatly tucks into place.
So everything looks factory. I like it. So with that, the installation of the Eurospec exhaust is done. Let's see what it sounds like, if it's any different. Sounds about the same, I would say. See the exhaust? I think you can hear a bit more burble. bit more sound, but we gotta warm it up. Now, one thing that's really important to note here, you're not going to gain any power if you just retrofit this European exhaust to the Z4M. You gotta tune it as well. And Thailand will tune this car a bit later, but first we gotta do another beautiful upgrade that this car absolutely deserves. So for now, seems to work fine. I'm gonna go warm it up so we can change the oil, and then let's continue with this, the charades. The engine is nice and toasty, so now we're gonna change the oil.
Oh man.
Whew, hot. All right. It's very hot. Oil is clean. Dark-ish, but clean. Whew. Oh my. Someone really torqued that. Yeah, black, but not bad, you know? Just used oil. Your crush washer. And for the oil, as always, Liquid Moly has us covered. We are going with the good stuff, 10W60. First, we are going to pre-lube the oil filter. Oil light immediately went off, which is good. Purrs like a kitten. Good unit this. I was driving the car around and I've noticed a couple of things and one potential problem. The diff... This isn't mine. Sure is nice though. Yeah, similarities are there. I mean, one can get easily confused. As I was saying, I was driving the car around and I've noticed two things. When I'm maneuvering in the parking lot and I'm turning the steering wheel near full lock, I can hear screeching and growling noises coming from the back, which means that the diff is either low on fluid, it has wrong fluid, or it's about to blow up, which is the fun one. And the second thing that I've noticed is the gear changes. They're very crunchy, not very smooth. So now we're going to replace the diff and the gearbox fluid.
The diff was overfilled and the fluid came out looking like new, so it is possible that the wrong fluid was used. I filled it with some genuine BMW fluid that I borrowed from Freddy, which has the correct amount of friction modifier, and this should fix the issue. And as the future me is narrating, I can confirm that it did. The transmission fluid came out looking nasty. The only thing I could get my hands on is this Redline D4 ATF fluid, which is actually a really good fluid. So that's that service done.
Yeah. Let's do the belts and pulleys. Get the AC belt off first. One crispy belt off. How about that pulley? It's not great. The bearing shot. Now the second belt. So remove the belt. Let's see, how about this pulley? Shot, the alternator pulley. That one is not too bad. The alternator is brand new, nice and quiet. PS pump, the water pump. No play, in good condition. And it looks original to me. I don't think that was ever replaced. Gonna leave that as it is for now, and then once this car is back in Germany, we're gonna do a big round of preventative maintenance. Rod bearings, vanos, you know, stuff like that. Let's get this pulley off. Get the alternator pulley. This engine is in really decent shape. Other than that weird leak, there's nothing else. Like power steering lines, everything else is fine. Oil pan gasket, all looks good. Really happy about that. There we are. Oh yeah, this one is shot as well. Here's the old belt. It's totally kaput, destroyed. This could have snapped at any minute, actually. And here are the brand new parts. So brand new belts from Imola World, new pulleys, and here's the old one, for example. Shot. Shot. So, in with the new stuff. Feels great. Don't forget the cover. And goes the new belt. Goes here. The AC compressor bearing. Good. Really quiet, and the AC is working beautifully in the car. Click, click. So remove the pin, and that's it. That's the belts and pulleys done. Very, very simple on this car. Can't get to them from the top, but you can from underneath very easily. And now, the most important mod in the history of mods, a microfiber intake plenum. I bought this from Carbonius. They gave me a nice little discount. And this is an air box actually for the E86 M3. So it's not a plug and play. I mean, this part of the box should be, but the other part of the box we're gonna have to slightly modify. But this is a crucial mod because you can't own an S54 engine and not have that glorious induction noise. It's illegal. They send you to prison in Florida for that. True story. Look at that, beautiful. E46 S54 race airbox, because a race engine. So let's remove the stock airbox and then get on with the business of installing the microfiber one. Hey, hey, hey. Anything else holding you in place? Yes, there is something. There we go. Got it, got it. I want to clean the ITBs first. Cool. Gonna check the power steering level while we're here. And the level is good, but the fluid looks really nasty. So let's withdraw some of that and put fresh stuff in there. Oh, it actually doesn't look that bad. Look at that. This is not too bad. I've had worse, I've seen worse. Got some fresh ATF here. Look at that nice pinkish color. No, don't spill now. Be careful. Fresh ATF done. Because we are using CSL race airbox, we gotta use different boots here for the ITBs. These are too big. We gotta use the pre-facelift ones. They're smaller diameter. And installation is as easy as this. I also got brand new clamps, rubber mounts. Got brand new original clamps here. All right, there you go. It's not great, it's not great. The tool is garbage. That looks like shit. As long as it holds the boots in place, it'll be fine, and then I can redo this once I'm back home. Okay, so this is an absolute junk of a tool. 13 bucks at O'Reilly's. Comes with a lifetime warranty, which you won't be using ever because you're just gonna throw this into the trash once you're done. Then we have this one. This goes, I think it goes like that, maybe. And then we are ready to install this. And then we have these. This is gonna be fun as well. I need a special tool for this. Yep. Okay, let's see how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna level with you good people here. I haven't done my homework on how to fit this box in the S54. This box was initially supposed to go in Project Cologne, which didn't work out for the time being. So I thought, might as well send it here and put it in this car. Well, see this spot here? That's where the intake air temperature sensor goes, which I don't have. I do now, because this morning I went junkyard hunting, and thankfully the M54 engine uses the same sensor as the E46 M3 CSL. So I need to wire this in. And by the way, you can go and watch on the Plus channel me running around the junkyard and pulling parts. Also, this hose is too short. This is not gonna work. I'm gonna have to modify that. So I think for the time being, let's just install the airbox and then we'll figure out everything else after the fact. Because I gotta do the wiring, Talon needs to do tuning. There's a lot going on here. So first, let's plug in the line on the bottom. Oh, that's in. There's another line here. Okay, that fits good there. plug in this one. I did swing the dipstick out of the way, so it's on this side here. So these are factory clamps for which you need a special tool to squeeze them and then clip them into place. I just tried with various pliers that I have here because I don't have that tool, and it's very, very difficult to do it. So I'm gonna ditch these clamps and go with standard ones. Not ideal, and when you use these, because they're so big, you gotta be careful and be sure that it's not going to obstruct the mechanism, the shifter linkage for the ITBs, because you know this moves up and down, and if it gets caught on this, you can get stuck, and then yeah, you're gonna go full throttle into a tree. So let me do them up, and then I'll see if I can move the throttle body and just verify the movement, that it's not catching on anything. And then again, once we're back in Germany, we shall fix this properly. For now, I just want to get this to work, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna manually open the throttle bodies. Just make sure it's not hitting anywhere, anything. So the screw here, that's wide open throttle and it's not hitting anything, so success! Again, don't bite my head off. All of this will be properly done once we're back home. Next task, extend this line here. I'm gonna go cobble something together. So I removed the corrugated line, and we are simply going to use a rubber line there instead. So I'm gonna make a mark, chop it off. So this doesn't even need clamps because it's a very tight fit. There you have it. That will do. I'm gonna go find a clamp for this. There, that one is done. Here's how we're gonna do this one. I removed this factory line, found in 90-degree elbow, which plugs in beautifully there. And now this vacuum line will go to the purge valve here. Beautiful. That's the vacuum lines sorted. Next, the air filter. This is original BMW CSL air filter made by BMC. Pre-oiled. Normally not a big fan of these, but for a carbon air box, yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, maybe that goes in first there. Okay. I see. Beautiful fitment. As this is CSL race airbox, guys from Carbonius told me that I'm gonna have to cut it to get it to fit on the Z4M. I was trying to fit it earlier, and the fitment was actually really good. So let's see. I'm hoping we won't need to cut it, but oh yeah, look at that. Fantastic, man. And don't need to cut anything. The air intake is right over there. That's where the air comes in. Boop, into the airbox and into the engine. Intake air temp sensor, which we need to wire in. We can just plug it in for now. Ain't that a beautiful sight? Fits a lot better than what I expected, to be honest with you. The next step is to wire in the sensor here and then get Thailand on the horn and tune the car. But we can start it right now just to see what it sounds like. We're gonna get a check engine light probably because the MAF is disconnected, but I wanna hear it run. Gonna give it a few minutes to warm up. Let's give it just a few gentle, you know. Okay, that's just 2,000-3,000 RPM. The car is still cold, but it sounds fantastic, man. Oh yeah, I can't wait to have it running at full chat. That's the wiring done, super simple. You have two wires that you need to run to the now unused MAF connector, pin 1 and 4. Orientation doesn't matter because this is an NTC sensor according to Thailand, so all of that is buttoned up nicely. Now I'm gonna go for a test drive and see what the initial tune feels like and then tune it further with Thailand. But first, I gotta drive something else which is very, very special. It's this 911 GT3. A small-time YouTuber from the UK rebuilt this car. You might have heard of him. And now it's owned by Freddie here in Florida. And it's just, I mean, listen to it. And it's the perfect recipe. A glorious 6-speed manual transmission. So you have a clutch pedal, bucket seats, and it revs up to 9,000 RPM. So I'm gonna take it for a spin now, and then I'm gonna be doomed for the rest of my life and sell my entire collection to buy this car probably. But anyway, you can watch that on the Plus channel because this is part of my vloggers and stuff that I'm doing.
You can hear the S54 sing at wide open throttle towards the end of the video. A big thank you to Thailand from T21 Industries for tuning Project Seattle with me for days. Z4M uses a later Siemens DME compared to E46 M3, and we have to run an alpha end tune as we are no longer using the math. And Thailand did a fantastic job. He raised the limiter to 8,300 RPM and the car is making even more power. It runs so damn good.
I'm back from test driving the GT3 and I'm officially ruined. All of the cars are ruined for me now. It's time to sell the entire oil leaking collection and just get that, because that car it's the best car I've ever driven. It's just epic, and you can see more of that on the Plus channel. Anyway, I also test drove the Z and it actually drives great with the stock map and it sounds epic as well. Thailand is going to work on the map tomorrow because it's 3 in the morning in Europe. In the meantime, we are going to proceed with the last upgrade, last mod for this Imola Red vehicle, and it's this box here. What's in the box? Tell me, I need to know. Well, this box is shipped from Deutschland, and as you can see, it was opened and inspected by German customs. And it's Billy's! Yes, of course it's Bilstein B6. This car has 120,000 miles. The suspension actually isn't that bad, but it is a bit wobbly, and I want this car to ride really, really well. So here's the answer. I don't like coilovers, you already know that. I just want really good handling, and I also want it to be comfortable. And B6 has never disappointed me. So our good friends from Bilstein sent me this set for this car, and now we're gonna replace the stock shocks. And we're gonna stay with stock springs because I want stock ride height. Because I want to be able to use the car and not just, you know, break the front bumper and rip off everything when you have lowering springs. I'm thinking, let's start with the rear shocks. So in the trunk of the vehicle, there's something in the trunk lid. Gonna have to figure out what that is a bit later. But anyway, in the trunk of the vehicle, we gotta pull off this trim here. So let's unclip this here. Found a pick. There it is. It's a very small trunk. That's one big downside of this car. Anyway, let's remove this. I think I'm gonna leave that out of the car for when I come back in May. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you about that, did I? Well, I'll explain a bit later. A nut! 10mm nut. What, is there another one? Yes, there is. 3 in total. Now we can lift it up and out of the way. That's where the battery hides. Right. Well, that makes sense. And I think this battery is not in the greatest condition, and it's way too small for this car. Look at that. So this can move like that. That ain't good. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna buy a battery for this car. Except the batteries are so damn expensive in the US. Now we gotta remove this plastic fantastic piece here. So we need to unclip it from here and then slide it out. There you go. I think you can press in the clips there. Yep. And then this pops out like that. Yes, there you go. So nice and easy. So press the clips in and then just get a screwdriver and slide this out that way. Ow! Why don't you wear gloves, man? You should be wearing gloves, man. You can turn that to the side. And then, just careful not to break any clips. Last thing you want to do is break some clips. Oh no! It's all good, it's all good. Now we need to remove this plastic here. One screw there and another one over there, and there's another one on the inside. Maybe I need to get the top off. A slight error, we gotta get the hardtop off so I can access all of the stuff that we need to access over here. I thought that the soft top was up and then this was on top of it. Whatever. We'll just figure out how to get the soft top off. And this is probably going to be very heavy and there's no one else around here. First we gotta release the hardtop. So this is on the right side of the car. Turn this and that's one side released. I think this side is already released. Yep, that's good. And we're also missing these covers here. And the last one should be here. That's the wrong Allen. All right, I found a collect Allen Iverson, so turn it to the left. And that's the hardtop released.
You're not gonna put it back anymore until you...
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Look.
Hey, it's not too bad, huh?
Easy.
Cool, look at that.
That's nice.
All right, we'll go to the other shop. That worked out nicely. So let's get the top up. All right, buttons, buttons. Good, okay. Now we have good access to everything. So there's a clip on the inside. Should be able to slide this plastic out now. There it is. And now we have access here to the shock mount. You can tell that the rear shock's original because no one cut a hole here. It's all original. So I'm gonna make it a little hole and then we can undo the nuts. Need to support the rear suspension, so I'm gonna use the wheels here from the M3 and lower the car onto them. Just slightly. So we have some support there. I think that'll do. And now we can undo the top mounts and the wheel won't just drop down. Both nuts removed, and now the shock mount bolt. Yeah, the shocks have a date from 2006. It's 120,000 miles on original shocks. There's no chance that they're good. Not even a little bit of a chance. Cool. So let's see how good is the shock. Dead. Completely blown. So I've said this before, with Zach shocks, they're good shocks, but they do not last. 60,000 miles is about the most you can expect from them, especially the rear ones. That's why I always like to go with Billy's, because they last longer and they ride better as well. So this is just completely kaput. Definitely glad we're doing this, because he was just riding on the springs in the back. And oil-filled shocks, they don't need to bounce back because they work based on hydraulic pressure, but this is a gas-filled shock and it needs to bounce back. If it doesn't bounce back, then it's bad. So the nut, the plate, the mount, another plate, completely ruined bump stop. And here's what we have. A shock that I can press in with my hand and it doesn't bounce back. That's, ladies and kids, is why we were doing this. Wasn't leaking, but it sure was bad. Now we're gonna assemble the shock per Bilstein instructions. So I have a brand new dust boot and a bump stop. So first that goes in like that, and then because this mounting point here for this plate, it's actually lower in the Bilstein B6 shock, as you can see perhaps there. Bilstein conveniently supplies this little bush that goes in there, and then it's the same height as this blown stock shock. So then this plate goes in, brand new Lemforder mount, the plate on the top, and the Meshuggah nut. So torque for this bolt is 22 millimeters, so that's not a lot. Let's make it snug. Beautiful. Gasket. And this one is ready to go in the car. We also have a washer for the bolt that's supplied with Billy's. So we have the washer here for the bolt. And now we can pop this into place. There you go. You're gonna go finger tight here, and then final torque with the loaded suspension. You can also use a reinforcement plate here for the top mount, which I forgot to order, so I'll do that later as well, once the car is back in Deutschland. Well, it's not back, technically. It was built here in Spartanburg, I think. Torque speculation is 24 millimeters. Got a digital guy here. Nice. So I'm gonna keep lowering the car until it's roughly at right height. That's the best I can do right now. Yeah, that looks good. It's off the leg here, so yeah, that's good. We can torque that lower shock bolt now. Because he has a bushing, you gotta torque it at right height, otherwise it's gonna twist when you lower the car. Lower shock bolt, 100 Newton meters. Beautiful. Off to the next one, Spider-Man. Beautiful. Rear shocks, done. The echo is amazing. Good Abend! There's no one around here, so I can Be as crazy as you want. Might be time to call it a night. For some reason I can't sleep. The last few days I've slept maybe 3 hours in total. Don't know what's going on. I think Freddy's house is probably haunted. So yeah, pretty exhausted. I'm gonna hit the bed. Actually, I'm gonna put everything back together here, and then tomorrow morning, front shocks, struts. Morgan, did you sleep well? I didn't. So let's proceed and replace the front struts. What do you think of the stock wheels? I think we're going to change them. I already have a set in mind back home. First, unbolt the sway bar link from the strut. That's in perfect condition. So these have been definitely replaced at some point. Now we gotta support the suspension here by the control arm, because once we unbolt the strut, this entire assembly will want to drop down, and we don't want that to damage bushings, ball joints and whatnot. So I'm gonna use wheels and a block of wood to support the entire assembly. Gotta do what you gotta do. So let's lower the car. There you go, that's it. Unclip the brake line, the brake pad wear sensor, and the wheel speed sensor as well. There we go. Now we got a bolt here that we need to remove, and a nut. And then we have 2 bolts on the bottom, one there and one on the other side, and that makes this about the easiest shock to remove on a Beamer. Now we should be able to pop the strut out of the knuckle, like that. And now we have 3 top strut mounts. And that's the strut assembly out. Super easy. Before we remove the spring, we gotta mark the position of it on the strut so we can copy paste on the new one. So clean the surface here. Get a marker and make a mark on the strut body and the pad. And then you just transfer over this pad onto the new strut, mark it, and you can get the precise and correct installation position of the end of the spring. Because a lot of people do it here, which is incorrect. You gotta do it a little bit offset from the end of this perch there. I hate using these spring compressors, but it's the only thing that I can find around here. So, I'm gonna gently use the impact. Shouldn't use an impact here, but I'm gonna be careful, you know. Once it's free like this, you're safe to remove the nut. There we go. So, the nut, the plate, the mount. The bearing is completely shot, listen to that. Garbage. Another plate. Put this bomb to the side. So I've already done the right side, and the shock on that side was good. Well, it was bouncing back, which does mean it's technically good, but after 120,000 miles, these are not gonna be working at their optimal capacity. So this one is not blown, but it feels very weak. So yeah, the car is gonna ride a lot better with brand new suspension. Brand new strut. So first thing to do is grab the old spring pad, pop it on here, grab the marker, and mark the position of the spring. Precisely like that. Beautiful. Bilstein B6 front shocks don't use bump stops because they have an internal one built in. Brand new strut mount from Beamer World. Original. You know what I like. Brand new original bearing. Upper spring pad. As well as the lower one. Oh, these compressors make me nervous. The plate. The mount. Another plate. And I'm shaking it. Do not use an impact gun to tighten this nut. You will ruin the shock. Beautiful. Now we need to line up the spring and release it slowly. Beautiful. And that's the alignment done correctly and beautifully. The last thing that we need to do is see this pin on the top. It's used for alignment. This mount, it's offset, but it needs to be here in the middle, so we're just gonna move it. Awesome. In it goes. First, start the top nuts, and then we can align the bolts on the bottom. So align the alignment pin. First, get this top bolt in. And now the bottom bolts, I applied some red thread locker per the repair manual. The torque speculation is 81 Newton meters. Beautiful. Lovely. Now we're gonna service the brackets. The rotors are way past their expiration date. They have a massive lip and yeah, they're just worn out. Good people from BMW World hooked me up with OE brakes all around. So OE SHW rotors, really good quality rotors. And that's what BMWs use from the factory. So OE stuff, and they're side specific. So this is the left side, floating and drilled rotors. And then we have OE Techstar brake pads. We are going to switch the pads a bit later. I want to use Paget Racing Street Plus pads, which I really like. But that's going to come a bit later because they don't have them in stock at the moment. For now, we're going to pop in all of this OE stuff. And then the Z is going to be ready to rock and roll. Look at that rotor, it's beautiful.
The brake fluid at first glance didn't seem that bad, yet it was. Nope, that's not McDonald's Diet Coke. Gotta change the brake fluid every 2 to 3 years, folks. One with the AT Type 200 fluid here.
I'm gonna torque up the wheels. Spark plugs is what we're going to do next. There's one. Original coils. All right. Okay. Oh my God. I don't get it. I don't get it. What the hell happened to that coil? Unbelievable. I can't remove the damn coil. It can't be that difficult to remove this coil. It's not possible. Oh my God. What? Was that ever off? Spark plug holes are clean, but we are going to use some compressed air, blow it out. Now we can remove the spark plugs. Got a socket here. What? Well, that was loose. NGK. They look old, worn out, but nothing terrible in them. They're sparking nicely. Brand new spark plugs. Now, this spark plug tool has malfunctioned and it doesn't hold spark plugs in the socket. So here's my ghetto trick to get around that. Electrical tape, and just put that around the lip of the spark plug. And it'll hold the spark plug in place. So you can put it in there, start it, and then once you pull it out, the tape is gonna stay on the socket. Beautiful.
Some of these rubber grommets were seeping a bit and I had some extra laying around, so I replaced them.
The vicious coils. And that concludes everything mechanically I wanted to do to this car. BMW World boxes are empty. The car is serviced. It drives well. It's safe to drive. It sounds brilliant. So that's as far as we're going to take it here. Tomorrow, after I get some much needed sleep, I have a treat for you. And it rhymes with carbon fiber interior trim. All right, let's check out that carbon fiber trim. What? I got scammed. It's wood trim. And I ordered carbon fiber trim, I swear. Of course it's a wood trim. Brand new, destroyed. Of course, I paid really good money for this, and it's damaged, so that's fabulous. Damaged here in the corner and damaged there. This is a very rare trim for the Z. Paid a lot of money for it, more than I'm willing to admit, but I really wanted this trim because it's uber rare. Let's see, maybe this piece here is carbon fiber. Nope, it's wood trim as well. Hoi, for me. Thank you, sir.
Sure, have a good one.
You too. We're stuff from Beam World. I think I'm gonna complain with the seller because I was sold this trim as brand new. It's not brand new, and that's different color. Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah, nope. This is not even the same. Popple brown. It's not the same trim. Look at this. Look at the lines. These are white, these are golden.
Well, my excitement was short-lived. I bought the trim as brand new, but it wasn't. One piece had signs of use and the other one was poorly refurbished, and the color and finish were wrong. Thankfully, the seller agreed to take them back.
All right, let's move along with something that I know I have brand new because I bought it from a reputable source. What's the most important thing in a manual car besides the clutch pedal? The shifter. And this one is the original one, and it's ruined. It's very rubbery. It feels like you're holding a very soft rubbery stick, for example, a dildo. Not saying I have any personal experience, but use your imagination. So we're going to, oh, that was way too easy. Get that out. Is this even original? Well, it's illuminated. There it is. So let me show you what I have. Got an F10 M5/ZHP illuminated shift knob. 1 day shipping. Look at that. The best shift knob for BMWs. The plug is exactly the same, which is awesome. Don't need to modify that. Haha! I got the brand new leather boot to fit on the bracket here, so I removed the old leather and stapled the new one into place. So should be able to plug in everything now. Okay. It's a tight fit because of the staples, but once you put it in, that's gonna stay in. Beautiful. Okay. Let's pop in the shifter. First, let's check if it illuminates. Yes, it does. So now, give it a smack. Be careful, don't smack your finger. That's it. Oh, happy with that. Look, yeah, that's much better. Oh, yes. My favorite shifter. And that's everything we can do in the interior. For now, I just need to vacuum it. But I have plans here. And it rhymes with cinnamon leather and wood trim. So if anyone has wood trim, please let me know. I will buy it. The Z is out.
The M badge. It's pretty weathered and in the wrong position, so let's quickly sort it.
Beautiful. Like nothing was ever there. Prep the surface. I have specs here for badge placement on the E85 and E86. I'll put up a picture on the screen. Right about there. Just take the tape off. Push it down. Beautiful. Man, the paint on these cars is really gonna come alive once it's paint corrected. Now that is a good looking rear end. Time to wash this red beautiful beast. It's one dirty tire.
That's really, I have to say, I started falling in love with this car.
You like it?
Yeah! Especially after watching you work on this thing. There you go.
Man, that is pretty
There
good.
you go. Oh, this car is gonna come out really nice.
Few rock chips here and there, but nothing too terrible.
No?
It'll touch up. Yeah, that's
battle
good.
scars. I mean,
Yeah.
the age is
Exactly,
friggin-
and that's definitely an original hood, not repainted.
by far the easiest car I've ever washed.
Yeah, the quickest wash. Not a lot of property.
No.
Whoop, I'll need a new windshield. Paint chip there, that's not gonna fly with German tooth inspection because it's in your field of vision. And we gotta do the seal here as well. Cleaned up really, really good. I'm 90% positive that it's all original paint. Rear end is by far my favorite part of this car. Oof, it looks good.
Some wax?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's actually SiO2, so it's like a mixture of a ceramic.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Much appreciate that, thank you. Paint is in fantastic condition. I got super lucky with this car. Good paint correction and this thing is gonna be beautiful looking. Normally I don't like stickers on my cars, but credit where it's due. Thank you, Beamer World. Truly, thank you for supporting my crazy US adventures and always supporting and shipping parts in like that. Beamer World, thank you. The Echo is still amazing. Let's go for a little drive, shall we? Just listen to this now. That was half a throttle. Oh my God. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, this car. This car, it's a hidden gem of the M community. You know, everyone knows that the E86 M3 is the legend, but not a lot of people talk about it. Had to put the top up because of the wind noise, it'll just ruin the audio. Yeah, it's better with the top down, you can hear the induction noise a lot more. But this car, let me tell you something. The other day I drove Freddy's GT3, which is the sports car benchmark. It is the best sports car I've ever driven. Right after that I jumped into this little thing and I'm having just as much fun, if not more, because the basic principle for a sports car, it's here. A 6-speed manual, 3 pedals, you're sitting down low. It's sporty, it's nimbly, it's precise. I mean, it's nowhere near as precise as GT3, but I'm having a crap ton of fun. The induction noise is just biblical. It sounds so damn good. And the best part, it's like 20 times cheaper than the GT3. That car, I think $200,000, paid 12.5 for this one. And this is why I like reviving these cars, fixing them, because they're so accessible. Parts availability as well, you can go crazy with this thing with OEM Plus mods, and it's super easy to work on. Everything that I've done on this car was done in a couple of days, and you know, it was pretty simple. I'm really in love with this car. I did not expect that I'm gonna like it as much as I did. It's so good. So how did I end up with this fabulous automobile? So what I said in the beginning is true. I did want an S54 in my life, and my wife wanted a convertible for German summers, which are actually quite nice because it's not too hot and you can have the top down and just have fun with the car. And I was actually looking for the Z4 3-liter with the N52 engine, because I thought I couldn't afford this one because they're normally really pricey. And while looking for the 3-liter one, I stumbled upon this one and I realized that you can get these from between like 10 to 20. And I got really lucky with this one because it's completely original for 12.5, just all original, unmodified, beautiful car. And here we are. And normally at the end of these road trips in the US, I tend to sell the car at the end of the journey. Now this one though, this one it's getting shipped to Germany. It's coming back home with me. because I know I have way too many projects, but I don't have a 2-seater convertible with an S54. I can't do an E46 M3 because we already have project alone, an E46 touring on the channel, so it will be kind of repetitive content. But with this one, I mean, this thing doesn't need, oh, look at this. It's just beautiful through there. It doesn't need a ton of work, so we're just gonna do whatever it needs to make it damn near perfect. So rod bearings, vanos. Yeah, other than that, just make it nice. Interior, I think we're gonna do cinnamon leather. The leather is in really good shape, but cinnamon leather with Imola Red is gonna be, and if anyone has wood trim, yeah, please let me know. So my time in Florida is coming to an end. I actually gotta leave in about a few hours. I got a flight to catch back to Frankfurt. Had a lot of fun. I helped Freddie put his E46 M3 back together. Massive, massive thank you to Freddie as well for his incredible hospitality. The guy he's a genuine car guy and a freaking lovely guy. He has a huge, huge heart. I love that guy. Thank you, Freddie, for everything. So the next time you see this car, it will be in Germany, but the next time I see this car will actually be in May. That's another reason why I bought this car, because I'm coming back to Florida with my wife in May, and we are going on a little vacation to Key West. And I didn't want a rental car, so this car is gonna stay with Freddie for the time being. And then we're gonna fly into Miami and then drive it down to the Keys. What a day to be alive. Beautiful Florida sunshine, open road, intoxicating S54, induction noise. Genuinely didn't expect this car to be this good. It's just, the noise is so visceral. You can hear the S54 swallowing air. Honestly, it's one of the best engine noises out there, especially for the money. I love it. I love this car. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be on Project Hovda or the E31. We shall see.